So recently, my niece Charlie, she's 12 years old, began complaining of some knee pain. I'm going to explain to you guys more or less how I explained to her why her knee is hurting. My name is John Clark. I'm a certified postural alignment specialist. And I explained to her that most of the time, knee pain, the root cause of it, isn't that it's not coming from the hip, or it's not coming from the knee itself. It's coming from the hip, or it's coming from the feet. And when I explained this to her, I told her look what happens if, how she was standing. You can't see my knees, I think, so I'm going to hop up on this chair really quick. So how she was standing is with her feet a little pigeon-toed, and this knee especially kind of collapsed inward. And so how does a knee get into this position is kind of the key question to ask. Or maybe some people are bow-legged, or some people are always in lots of knee flexion, some people are always in hyperextension of the knees. But in her case, she was standing kind of like this. And what can we tell from this type of posture? Well, the it really comes down to her hips have an imbalance in them and are lacking stability because they aren't able to, especially when she walks, she kind of waddles. She's not able to bring her knees all the way up into her hips into flexion while maintaining a neutral hip position. So one of her abductors and adductors, her muscles on her sides of her thigh, they aren't working together with the hip flexors. And so when she lifts her knee up, she gets this rotation of the hip, right? And then when she lands with her feet, well, she's standing heavily on the inside of her feet. So if you watch my video on dysfunctional loading of the foot, you'll see how her foot became pronated, we call it, walking on the inside of that foot. And so what happened with her? Well, if she's walking on the inside of that foot, that means that the muscles on the inside of the lower leg, they can't pull that part of the ankle into a neutral position. Those muscles are too weak. And because those muscles are too weak, the muscles in the upper part of the leg have to begin compensating for them. And now you get this series of dysfunctions and compensations that happened up and down the hip, or up and down the leg. The hip got an imbalance in it because of the flexors and abductors and adductors not working together. That caused the foot to go internal, pigeon-toed, inverted feet, whatever you want to call it, and land on the inside of the feet, which then caused problems back up the leg. So, and the knee is just an innocent bystander. It's like the person standing on the corner in a drive-by shooting. It's very unfortunate because what happens when the femur rotates, like what happened with her left knee, that left femur was rotated internally. Well, the knee is a simple hinge joint. It's probably the most simple of the load-bearing joints. It's a simple hinge. And when that femur goes internal, look what starts happening. The head of that femur and the head of the tibia, they start just grinding into one another because that femur is not how it's supposed to be angled. In a functional knee, there's no grinding. It feels great. But her femur got out of place. She was running or jumping or something, and a tendon probably got a little bit stretched, and it caused some pain. And now it brought the attention to light. And it was really great. Yesterday, I went over there to help her with her homework, as I do a couple times a week, and I just had 15 minutes to do some postural therapy with her. I put her in a static back position. I had her do some. Let me explain exactly what I did. The static back position, if you're not familiar with it, is lying on your back with your if this is my body, this would be my upper legs, and this would be my lower legs. So it's just like the 90-degree shape of the body laying on the ground with a bench here to support the legs. Static back, that brings her hips into a neutral position and allows them to sink into the ground with gravity and even things out. So then I had her do foot circles, which is where she just would bring her ankle through a full range of motion each way, and that helps with the dysfunctional loading of the foot, along with the points and flexes in that position, bringing her ankle through a full range of motion this way. So that all helped with the muscles in the lower leg. And then I put a strap around her knees, or around her thighs, and had her press against the strap isometrically. And when you press against a strap outwards, it forces the muscles on the inside of the thigh to work with the hip flexors to stabilize the hips and the knees, and it helped alleviate some of that pain. She stood up and she said, my knee still hurts, but it hurts a little bit less. And I told her, that's excellent. That's exactly what we want, because when your mom does this with you every day, soon it won't hurt at all. And it felt so good that I was able to help alleviate my knees with a little bit of that knee pain. And you know what? I saw an improvement in her attitude when she did her homework right after that. That is such a huge key thing. If your kids are having a problem with homework, look at how they're sitting at their desk. Are they sitting sideways and like this, slunched over? They're doing that because that's the only way they can sit without hurting. So many kids don't want to do their homework because they're hurting. But this is a topic for another video. This is about knee pain. So if you found any of this interesting today, I would really encourage you to pick up a book called Pain Free by Peter Goskew. He has a bunch of things in there for knee pain. But you know what? If that doesn't help, I want you to check out the links in my description below. You can schedule a chat with me one-on-one, and we can talk about how you could further your postural therapy. Or, if you're already looking for a postural alignment specialist like myself, you can also find a link to book me in the description down below. My name is John Clark. I'm a certified postural alignment specialist, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe and the bell button down below, and you'll get notified, and you can keep your posture improving on a daily basis. I hope you have a functional and pain-free day, but if you don't, please be sure to contact me.